Are we rolling? Hold on here. Gotta stir my coffee. That's the trademark there, the coffee. And the old coffee slurp. My wife makes good coffee. Hold on, I gotta have another slurp. This is good. Sucking on another cough drop here. It's November. I can't remember what day in November. It's not November the 11th. Or maybe it is, since it's AM. But anyway, I do remember. In fact, my daughters made special tribute for Remembrance Day here. They're artists and they do this every year, but I'll leave that aside for now. I'll mosey on my way over here. You can see the box sitting on the table, so this is going to be an unboxing video. And I'll cruise on over in my PJs and say, welcome to another amateur, not-for-profit, non-monetized YouTube video from Dumpster Divers, PC Reclamation. Some of you are familiar with this channel. Some of you might be new to it. It's a very hard channel to find because it's not monetized, and I want to keep it that way because I value my freedom of speech, and I'm going to give you the straight goods. I'm not pandering to any corporation. I'm not going to do any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to give you the straight goods on my experience. You know, some of you know where I'm coming from. You know, I've got a background, a bit of a background in electronics. I'm not an IT. I'm not an official technician, but I've been playing around with computers for quite a while here. I've been building them for about 20 years now. I know a little bit from whence I speak. Some of you are probably familiar with some of the things I've said on some of the forums and some of the channels. And, you know, I'd like to give a shout out to some of those YouTubers there, Jay's 2 Cents and Uncle Kerry and, you know, some of the big boys that have been hard at it for quite a while. And also the Level 1 Tech Forum. That's a great forum. You want to learn things, you want help. There's a great crew over there that can, you know, direct you to whatever it is that you're looking for. Level 1 Techs, you know, with the trio there, Brian, Wendell, and Krista. Quite the lady. But it's they're a great bunch over there at Level 1 Techs too. So shout out to them. Anyway, I have so much to tell you. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. You know, normally I'm very busy during the summer months, and with the fire that we've been having, all the forest fires and whatnot, I haven't had a whole lot of time for making videos during the summer, and you know, we had to sort of integrate into our home. And good thing it didn't burn down. There were a lot of forest fires where we lived, and we were evacuated. But I'll put that aside too. There's so many things. It's never a dull moment. Life has been great. So I'll try to cut out the ums here and get on with it. Yeah, this is an unboxing video, and I'm going to try to cram as much into this video as possible. Not just an unboxing video, of course, never is. With me, I get on a rant, a ramble, you know, and like that Bill Zoid guy there on YouTube gets on his rants and his rambles. But you know, it's entertaining, it's interesting. You know, those of you who know me and know my channel, you know that I kind of get on these rants and stuff, and you know, sometimes it's humorous, sometimes maybe you don't find it that humorous. You know, I don't care, because you don't have to watch. You know, I just this is totally amateur, really, really low budget, low rate amateur video. But the content, if you listen, you might learn something. You might. Okay, some of you, you know, may listen. Here's how I look at it. I don't care how long I've been at it. I can learn something from some of the greenest, newest people in this whole realm of PC building and computers and technology. We all have something we can learn from one another, you know, and I am not going to be so arrogant as to think that I can't learn something from someone else because, oh, I've got more expertise or whatnot, because you never know when somebody's going to come forth with something that is just absolutely mind-blowing. And you never know from where it's going to come either. It's really that kind of thing. That's the way life is. We're all here to learn from each other. But anyway, you know, philosophy aside and all that stuff, I can be kind of goofy sometimes too, but there's a serious side here to, oh, did I introduce myself? I guess I was supposed to introduce myself too. I'm Ed King, aka Rusty. Some people know me as Chester. It's a nick, right? You know, we all have nicks online, but you know, I've got nothing to hide. I've lived a long, full life, and this is a not-for-profit. I know that the government tried to jump on me here, you know, thinking I was making all these kinds of money here, and they what do they call it? Where they assess you. But anyway, yeah, they actually audited my. I've been audited 3 times now. Every time coming clean, but you know, I guess they like to pick on me. I don't know what the deal is, but no, I do this as a hobby, and I don't make a dime. I really don't. And you know, they can check. I'm not monetized. I'm not bringing any money on this or anything. I do this just as a service to my community, and you know, the PC community out there, and for fun and entertainment and education as well. Anyway, I've got to remove this cough drop. It's interfering with my ability to speak. But yeah, it's that time of the year again, you know, November. We all get the sniffles and colds, and well, maybe not all of us, but you know, it's that time of the year. But I expect to be making more videos now because, you know, winter, I'm indoors more, and now that I'm a little bit more settled into my home again from you know, the really wild summer we've had, I really do hope to be making more videos. But anyway, something wound up on my doorstep here, and it's a Bursa H21 thermal take computer case. And I know I'm going to sound like an old codger. Well, I am an old codger, but I'm finding it increasingly hard, computer case companies out there, if you're watching, to get a decent practical computer case where I can put in so many hard drives, you know, well, maybe not as many as I like, because I'm kind of like hard drives, but you know, a reasonable number of hard drives, and have some front bay access to those drives, and other components, you know, like maybe a fan controller, because some people like that, whether it be manual, automatic, you know, some people like their buttons, an interface maybe for card readers, that sort of thing. I think it's really important to be able to have access to your accessories in your computer. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, like if you're a gamer and you want one of these computers, you know, that are all minimalist, you know, the front just a solid wall, like, power to you, fine. But it's annoying for people like me who also build computers where they have more of a practical approach. And, you know, maybe you might want that CD, DVD, Blu-ray still in the front of your computer. Or maybe you might, you know, want to have that card reader in the front of your computer. Or perhaps, what do you have to do? Do you have to go buy some beat up case on your on eBay or one of these places, you know, just to have access to something like that, or you know, have a tower? I can go on and on about this because there's a limit to how small a unit you can put these hands into, you know. When you got a computer case that's this big and this big, and you're trying to work at this little tiny, like, listen, all right, sure, that's fine for people who can afford all the tools and want to do all that kind of work, but hands-on work, you know, I like a mid-sized tower. I like ATX motherboards. I'm not saying I haven't done micro or mini, I have. But, you know, even laptops, for an old guy like me with my eyes the way they're going, I don't prefer that sort of thing. And I really do question the practical value in how small one can go. Really, how practical is that, you know, for everyday use, for the end user? How practical is that? That's why I still build desktop computers. Because they're practical, they're easy to use, they're easy to work on, they're easy to access, and for the most part, most of these computers will run circles around those little micro devices. Anyway, enough said about that. So we're going to open this up, this Thermaltake unit, but before we do, I just want to get on a little rant about something else too. Have you ever been in a position, I'm sure some of you have, where it's like, you know, you go to these websites, maybe CNET or maybe Major Geeks, where you want to try out their software because it looks good, but you're not too sure about it, right? And you don't really know if you want to download it and install it on your, you know, computer because well, you're not familiar with it and you don't know if it's going to mess up your programs. And I mean, for all you know, it could be even malware, right? But it looks intriguing, but you'd like to try it, but you don't really, you know, want to do that, compromising your system. And as some of you know, System Restore, if you're using Windows, doesn't always restore, and backups don't always work. And I'll tell you something about backups. I don't tell people just to back up anymore. No. In this day of computers, I tell people I have a totally different approach to backups. From all that I've learned about backups, especially Windows backups, don't rely on Windows for your backups. Please don't. I really recommend, you know, using a reputable program. R-Drive Image is really good. Another one, Mini Tool Partition Wizard. People say Acronis is really good. But what you want to do is you want to have a complete drive image, not a system image like Windows says. No. A complete drive image. In other words, a complete snapshot of everything on your drive. You want a complete duplicate, a complete, absolute, perfect clone, a complete, you know what I'm talking about? Identical in every way drive of your drive. That way, if your drive fails, you just pop in your clone. Okay, you can use file history to get back your other files. You can use you can even make a offshoot, you know, for on another drive you can move, you know, valuable information to there, or duplicate files on that drive so that you can stay current, right, with your work, right, so you don't lose anything, so that when you go back to the drive that you copied, you know, 6 months ago, all right, pop that in your PC. There you are, lo and behold, a working operating system. It'll, you know, need updating and all that, but a working operating system, and then you can drag from your archives files and folders that you need to bring it back up to date, or maybe from your file history, if Windows file history works. But I'm telling you, you can't trust Windows for anything when it comes to restoring or recovering your data. Don't trust them. Do not. Okay? Same as OneDrive, because boy, I'll tell you, I've had experiences and I'm done. I'm done. I won't do that anymore. Make a drive image, put the drive image in cold storage, keep it there for in the event that your system crashes, and it won't, you know, system recovery doesn't work, system restore doesn't work. I've heard so many horror stories about this so many times over and over again. You know, backups aren't enough. They used to be, they're not anymore. Listen, read my lips. Backups aren't enough. Okay, so keep that in mind. They're not enough. All right. Better to make a complete image of that drive, have it on, you know, hand for whenever your system crashes and you can't recover it, you know, because sometimes a backup is enough, right? Sometimes, but not always. And often it'll be that, you know, you don't get everything back. Okay, so I'm just saying that, and I know that I digress. I do that a lot, but back to, well, I would like to try that. I would like to try that that new software, but I don't want to mess up my computer. Enter the Rogue PC. What you want. If you want to test out, try out new software, you know, all that sort of thing. Maybe there's something that intrigues you, but maybe it looks a little gray hat. But, you know, not all gray hat is bad, right? You know, you can build yourself a PC for that purpose, for testing the software first before you put it on your main PC. And that's what this is about. That's what this build is about. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build myself my own personal computer for testing stuff. Not only software, but also hardware. Okay, you can do the same thing, right? So I'm going to open this thing up, and we're going to have a look at what it is. Now, to find a reasonable budget PC case that gives you some bays so you can hot swap bays in and out, I want to do that with this. To have some front access, some practical access. This is not a gaming rig, okay? This is a regular PC, I guess. Well, not so regular, because it's going to be my Rogue PC. My ROGUE PC. Play on Rogue. Okay. Or ROG. Who needs ROG when you can have Rogue? All right, there. Somebody should run with that, by the way. Somebody should run with that. That's a seller. That's a seller. And we're going to open this up. I find for, you know, these things, the best thing to do is just flip it over and then pull up the box. That's the best way. There we go. So this is by Thermaltake. I am a fan of Thermaltake, I have to say. Thermaltake does make some really good cases. They're not always so cheap, but they do make quality cases. and some are fairly reasonable. This is a budget case, okay? I paid a little bit more for it than I could. Black Friday's coming around, so listen, you know, like if you can get this thing for like $60 on Black Friday, go for it. I had to pay a little bit more for it because I didn't want to wait, but you never know, right? You never know. I'm just saying, keep your eyes peeled, because this Versa H21, folks, they don't make them like they used to, okay? If you're looking for a case where you actually have that front bay access, they still have them, okay? You got to pay a little bit more for them than you used to, okay? This used to be a cheap budget case you'd get for like 50 bucks. Not anymore, not anymore, okay? But, well, maybe on Black Friday, who knows? But if you can get it for around $60, I had to pay a little bit more for it because I wanted it, you know, and I didn't want to wait until Black Friday or whatever. I wanted it now because I want to get to work on this, because I want to test other hardware and software without having to take a gamble on compromising my main PC or even my gaming rig. Doesn't matter. I know I'm not like a very great gamer or anything, but still, I didn't want to mess up my other two PCs. So I'm going to make a third PC, and this is it. And it's for myself. It's not for someone else, okay? Which is, I don't always do that for myself, not for me. But anyway, yeah, so this is it. And it's a mid-size tower. Mid-tower, they call it. Okay, let's see. If I got it upside down, I think, well, it doesn't look like I have it upside down, but it's a mid-tower. Oh, maybe I do. No, I don't. I don't have it upside down. And, which is just what I want. You know, it's not really, you know, it's not going to be a server. It's not going to be a workstation. Well, kind of is a workstation in a way. It's a rogue workstation there. But very basic. Very basic. In fact, this is probably one of Thermaltake's most basic PCs or PC cases going. But I've seen another one. I've seen a couple of other models, but I passed on those because they didn't quite offer everything I was looking for. So this is looking good, guys. This is really looking good. Thermaltake's known for the nice thick steel. And there, I don't know, maybe I should take the camera out and walk around with it. But this Versa H21, I've had my eye on it for a while. It's going to be the little brother to my Thermaltake Level 10 GT. And it's going to sit above it. What I wanted was these here. These three front bay spaces, because they're hard to get. Okay. And it's got a USB 3 port. That's all I need. And another port in the front. That's all I need. I don't, because the motherboard at the back, right? I've got lots of USB there, and I can always run a hub if I need to afterwards. So you don't need a whole lot that way. But one of the things right here, you see, this is not the greatest quality. These are still punch outs at the back, right? But that doesn't matter for your PCIe things, okay? And that's kind of a neat little added feature there to hold them all in place. I'll have to learn how to use that. That's kind of a interesting little gimmick. But maybe it goes this way, I don't know. No, I see, it goes that way. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, okay. And then I guess that pops in there, yeah, okay. Well, that's kind of neat. All right. So it's really basic. It's a really basic case. And what I want to put in it is, well, this is I can't really remember what the well, there it is. This is a Z97P Asus motherboard. See, I'm going to be rescuing another motherboard rather than trash it and turn it into e-waste. This is a Haswell based motherboard. It's a little dusty. I'll have to clean it up. This used to be my 9-year-old daughter's system board, and she used it for quite a while. She's running something much more comprehensive now, an ROG motherboard. In fact, she's a gamer, so she's got a nice system going now where crazy CPU is clocked at 4.4 gigahertz and probably could do even more, but I stopped when it was going faster than my own, right? But she's set for any kind of gaming at all. It's probably the fastest gaming rig in the house now. Oh man. And yeah, I don't think we made a video of us building that together, but we did make a video. You've probably seen her in one of the other videos. She built a PC herself, a guest PC for her friends that come over and meet her, right? So she can game with her friends. But this old PC, this old system board, this Asus Z97P, is good enough. Rather than chuck it, I'm going to use it. And if it breaks, it breaks. But one of the things that I do intend to do with it, because of what it has in it for a CPU, I'll be replacing, I think, the cooler here. But this Cooler Master cooler needs to be cleaned anyway. I think I'll be leaving the CPU in it. Now the CPU, okay, I gotta put this away here. CPU. Oh, careful now, careful. All right, it's should be okay. All right, okay. Okay, it's a G3258, Intel G3258. This is a very interesting chip. Once upon a time, Intel celebrated their 20th anniversary, the 20th anniversary edition chip, G3258. And it was very versatile in that, you know, it was a Pentium, it was a Haswell, it was a dual core, and yet it was not, you could overclock it, okay? And you could overclock it, you could overclock the snot out of it, that's the thing. It was less than $100 Canadian. I mean, I think it's 75 US or something like that. Just, if you looked around, maybe you could get it for 65 bucks, you know, back in the day when it was released. And this G3258 was just a favorite of gamers for single-threaded performance. You could overclock the snot out of that thing. And instead of gamers buying the more expensive chips, they would buy this, and they would just clock it right out. Some of these gamers, like they were getting over 5 gigahertz on this little crazy Haswell dual core / Pentium chip, and getting crazy numbers, you know, on single-threaded performance. And Intel kind of shot themselves in the foot that way, because you know, they're just opting to buy, come on, you know, under $100 and get a CPU that can give us this kind of performance. So unfortunately, they did a kind of a a not so nice thing. Intel did a nasty, you know, and later on, and started introducing some microcode to hobble that chip so that you could not overclock it like you used to. And of course, their argument would be, well, you know, we don't want people wrecking the chip or burning up the chip. That was BS. All right, really. A bunch of brown sugar on that. What they're annoyed is nobody was buying more expensive chips because they could get that kind of speed for gaming. That's pretty much all you need for most games. Okay, maybe not all, but you know, a lot of games don't need like all those threads. All right, but so they started you know, updating with microcode to hobble the chip. Now I don't know if this one's got it, but I'm going to try to see if I can overclock it, because even if I blow the chip, it doesn't matter to me. I can always get another CPU for it. I mean, we're talking Haswell here, Gen 4. You know, they're they're like hotcakes on the market. You can get for that price you could get a used $47.90 now for $100 and something. You know, so easily. So you know, but I'm going to see, because for what I need, for just, you know, testing out, you know, dubious software, testing out dubious hardware, if it works, if it doesn't work, if it, you know, like if I ruin anything, no problem, it's replaceable. You know, no big loss. I haven't hurt my main computer or anything at all. I'll have this thing here on a KVM so that I can just switch to the monitor and use the keyboard that, you know, I like to use, and run it that way. But yeah, I would recommend this here. I wish I could show it to you. I wish I could show you the CPU, but anyway, looking at it won't really change much. It's just yeah, we had a lot of fun with this G3258 CPU. I gave it a mild overclock. She played with that thing all the time. She had lots of fun with that. So, but we did, you know, find that it had some limitations, and she wanted to progress to a better GPU. So, you know, we got her a better graphics card, and then we started noticing there was some bottlenecking going on, and I'm not going to be doing that with this. You know, it's not a gaming. This will not be a gaming build, but this is what's going in here as a tester, and you know, something that I can just. It's going to be my rogue PC for trying out all that rogue software and all that stuff that I'm not too sure about, right? And so I want to do. You know, it's going to have a rogue operating system and a rogue. Everything's going to be rogue. It's going to be my ROG UE. And who needs rogue? You know, who needs ROG when you can have rogue? So you got to run with that. Who needs ROG when you can have rogue? How about a big gigabyte? How about how about an Asus? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. But you know, somebody really should run with that. You know, go rogue. But yeah, and that's essentially what it is. It's going to be the little brother to my other Thermaltake case, and I'll let you know how it goes when I have it all built. Now, I don't need any, as you can see, it doesn't have any window on the side or anything like that. I don't need any of that. For what I'm doing, I don't need anything. I'm going to have a hot swap bay in the front here, and maybe a a fan controller, you know, maybe perhaps a card reader. We'll see. We'll see what, you know, or maybe a good old-fashioned DVD, CD-ROM for some of the older stuff that I want to try out. I still have some stuff on CDs. But there it is. But I'm telling you, you know, unless the companies change their mind, guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, you might want to get yourself a case like this because they're getting harder and harder to find. Pretty soon, you know, all the cases are just going to be a wall in the front. Nothing accessible, you know. And that's fine if you want a fancy gaming rig, I guess, or whatever, you know. And you just want to access your USB through a hub or something. But for those of you who recognize and acknowledge the practicality and functionality of having some front bays, you might want to get a few of these before they're gone, because they're getting harder and harder to find. So there it is. There's my my video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll keep you posted as to, you know, how this is going to work for me. I don't know if I should make a video of me putting it together or not, but I mean, don't want to bore you, but well, I might put it together just to show, like, put it together and then turn it on and show you how it works and what I've got. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it because I'm really thinking about how to put on a rogue operating system too. And I don't know if I'll get myself in trouble doing that, but there are ways, right? There are ways. Okay. Anyway, so with no further ado, this is Rusty signing off and wishing you the very best. And thank you for watching my video. God bless you.